Nathan here, back after some time, helping you become a better jungler. If you sub to me for a while, you probably know that I'm quite inconsistent with this channel. I'm pretty focused on my jungle coaching program Soul 2, as well as the podcast Broken by Concept with Coach Curtis. But I do want to start publishing some more, educational slash entertaining free content. I know a lot of you guys like the Your First Jungle Clear series. I am going to bring that back. But I want to just experiment with some stuff. I want to get feedback, thoughts. Is this educational? Is it completely pointless? So I'm just going to start off with the video here. This is just with a friend, Shern, who's a multi-season challenger player, bootcamped in Korea, been in NA, played with pro teams, was back Direwolves in my days, 2017, 2018, when we won 4 splits in a row. Cloud9 Team Liquid, he'll be probably mainly more known for. But yeah, just sort of just walking through, it's sort of like a podcast as well as like a VOD review, just walking through some decision making about his gameplay. I'm going to try and do my job as best I can. The timestamps. These videos, this video is long. I didn't expect it to be an hour long. But yeah, in the timestamps, if you want to skip to things. But, if these are too long, just say, there's no way I'm watching this, Nathan. This is ridiculous. So let me know. Again, I'll try and do some good stuff with the timestamps. Some of it might be interesting. Some might be really boring. But just going through one game, start to finish, focus on some champ mastery stuff. Let's get into some Kha'Zix action. For sure. We've got Kha'Zix versus Vi. First strike Kha'Zix. Is this the go-to runes at the moment?
Yeah, it's pretty much the best scaling rune and the best rune for getting your power spec faster, which Kha'Zix is sort of his identity is based on how much money you make, right?
So you're just looking to get as much.
Going to help that.
You're trying to get as much gold as possible to get items.
Yeah, the more gold you can get faster, the more you're gonna make in the future, because you're gonna be dealing more damage, and it just snowballs. That's why this champion's quite strong right now.
Alright, so we're jumping up here. So how do you think about winning this game? So you're tabbing, you're sitting at the blue buff. What are you thinking about right now, Shern?
I might be alt tab. No, I definitely not. But I already have in my mind that it's like we have 3 scaling lanes. So if I just take a brief look at the matchups, Camille versus Maud, both probably going Dawn Shield, a lot of sustain, Azir, many Mana Crystal TP, right, versus Ignite. And we've got our bot lane, Soraka, Jhin versus MF. Karma, that could be a lane that something happens, but in general, we're on the defensive side, right? They have Ignite, they have MF, Jhin, Soraka, not really, doesn't really tend to all in. But keep in mind, like, I guess when you talk about matchups, it's very important not to tunnel, because it's solo queue.
Yep, be very adaptable. I love talking about that. Always be adaptable to heavy trading and chaos.
Things happen. Yeah, things happen. Camille might just be like hitting the mod, and just they both get to 10% or something,
So you're pathing towards bot here because you feel like there's nothing going top because they both have Doran Shield.
Actually, no. Just since both lanes, I believe, aren't that volatile, it's not like I prefer one or the other. Actually, it's because I believe Kha'Zix's most efficient path is to full clear from blue side, or blue buff side. It's just the way Kha'Zix's kit works. You clear faster with cooldown rather than a red buff, because your damage is based on your skills.
So your mindset is, I don't care what happens in the early game, I'm just going to get a full clear off and the blue starts better.
Yeah, on Kha'Zix, the identity is, like, contrary to, like, the maybe what people believe, Kha'Zix is not actually a early game champion. His champion, he actually is a scaling champion that's like really good in team fights and in skirmishes, which is probably why he's like a really strong champ right now.
Hence the first strike runes. It like goes all in on that identity.
Right, yeah, I'm all in on that. So here it's mainly about tracking the jungler. You can see I ping the Raptors because I believe he starts topside and he's pathing down with me. And it's more about, like, when you're playing these full clear junglers, it's important you don't just be like, I'm going to do my path. You already know what you're going to do, so what else can you do while you're clearing, you can always figure out what their possible move can be. Because, like I said, not everything goes to plan. As you can see, my bot lane is taking pretty bad trades, and so I ward here just in case, you know, the enemy jungler skips camps and looks down right now, because I know the bot lane's gonna ping. So even though I'm full clearing, I'm very active on what's happening on the map, as you can see.
Yeah, you're constantly looking at all lanes, but now you're paying close attention to bot. So what's going on bot here? So a lot of people would maybe look to to gank this, especially in the lower elos. Why is this not gankable, Shern? Why are you just recalling here? Why are you not going for crab?
Okay, so first of all, even if it was gankable, the issue with this gank is uh the kill pressure we have on them. Like, say they just did not respect me at all and started hitting the turret, they still have the potential to outplay, first of all. And second of all, they the amount of time it's going to take to actually kill them is going to be just a net loss in the end.
Yeah, you're gonna
Like,
lose.
as crazy as that sounds,
You're gonna give the enemy
you get
jungler so many
300 gold.
options, and it's just gonna be just take forever. And they all summon the spells up, and it's just impossible, right?
I think that's something that don't take into account is the amount of time it takes for someone to die is just as important as getting the gold itself.
I guess I
Because,
sort of call that the
yeah,
quality of the gank. Like the higher quality gank, the quicker execution. The lower the quality gank, the longer it takes to kill someone. Is that sort of the way you'd frame
yeah,
it?
yeah. So I'd frame it as almost like a drive-by shooting. You just wanna go in and get out and get the job done as fast as possible. Like a true hitman, right?
All right, that's a very violent analogy, but I like it, Sharon. So you just want to be in and out. That's sort of what you're doing. They're going to get in and out.
That is the ideal gameplay for every jungler.
All right, so on the map here, Shern, is that you instantly click in here. What's that click? Is there any intention that click? Like, what's going on?
So, as you guys know, I started top side, so I would like to clear down again.
So you just want to go
And
back
the
to your
goal,
gromp, go back to your gromp and just clear top to bot again.
yeah, so something to keep in mind is like, obviously I'm trying to be as efficient as possible, right? Talked about the full clear, but the goal is also to have reach certain spikes and then attack on certain spikes. So I am waiting patiently for a great opportunity. But I'm not just farming. I am just farming, but I'm also paying attention to the map and waiting for a great opportunity, right? So here, if we can go back, Rippy, or Nathan, if you can go back. So I do path top, but I thought my bot lane would base, but again, right? Dork is
They got to
chaotic and you got
adapt.
to adapt, right? So my bot lane decides not to base, and honestly, what this fight is doing is pretty bad itself as well. I think this is a similar situation where you are denying the bot wave, but they were probably going to get denied anyway. So this is a lot of time wasting from him. But I kind of see an opportunity here to either cheese him or do some sort of play, right? I'm up two long swords, so I stopped the original play, which was to just do top skull and path down from Grump. And I sort of just looked for a quick cheese here, which sort of ends up working out, but it doesn't. But the idea behind it is, I think, that whenever something goes wrong, or in your mind to what you envision, you have to be able to see any opportunity for like punishment. And here, this is my creative idea of punishment. Was I knew he was going to go for scuttle. I knew he had 20 CS, so that means he did not full clear, right? So he has one camp left,
So you're trying to
and I
find
know
that
that
camp.
camp is Grump.
How do you know it's gromp and not wolves?
Because the way he pathed, so he started Raptors or Red. Uh, I can't exactly remember, but he did three camps topside, so uh, most buys as well will just do blue wolves and Grump. Most people will leave Grump last, so I guess I am making a prediction.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go straight line, right? I am making a prediction. I could be wrong, but it's worth the risk, right?
A lot of people say, "Why are you invading here, Shern? Your bot lane doesn't have quote unquote priority."
That's correct. So I'm on a timer here. I have mid push. Um, so another aspect is that when a mid laner dies, when my mid laner dies, right? When a mid laner dies, when someone gets solo killed, it's actually beneficial if they die if you want to make a play on the next round because home guards is a big factor in the game. So like a lot of people don't think about that. Most of the time they're crying about the fact that their laners are getting gapped, right? But kind of use this to my advantage. When people have home guards, it usually means they're gonna have pushed on the next wave
So
as
you're
well.
saying that when your laner dies, you're actually thinking about them coming back out of base and looking to make an aggressive play on their home guards because they're going to be able to get there first. Because you also, as well, you're not mentioned there, I think, Shern, is that you're predicting that the enemy laner has used a lot of resources, so they get a base, but they don't have the home guards. Is that right?
Correct, correct.
Yeah.
They're gonna be low HP usually when someone's solo kills, so it takes longer to heal.
Yeah.
My teammate has a 7 second death timer, which is or 8 second, which is the same as a recall, and they have home guards.
So you're
So
saying that
most of the time
you
they'll
have
push.
your bot lane has home guards, but the enemy bot lane doesn't have home guards. So they're going to be waddling a little bit. So you have a little bit more of a window. Is that the what you're applying here?
No, my mid laner.
Oh,
My
your
mid
mid
laner.
laner.
So
Okay.
my bot lane obviously didn't die, they based normally,
Yeah.
but my mid
Oh,
laner,
he
so
died.
even yeah, my mid
Ah.
laner got solo killed before. So
Okay.
that's why he has to push right now, even though he's in like a lane that shouldn't get a push, right? Because he got solo killed, look how he's to the lane first.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
he
Let's
has
let's
a
just
stacking
go.
wave.
Yeah. Let's go back to that and demonstrate that because that's something you think about. That's really interesting. So he gets solo killed here. Yep. And then Rumble's now back in here, and then he gets a TP back, and then you already know right now that you're going to have shove mid, and you can maybe be
Yeah.
aggressive with this play. So is that is
So
that is that
even
is that seriously something you're thinking about right now, or are you just going bot because there's a bot fight happening bot? Isn't that just a bonus?
no, as soon as I know someone's died, I know even if he doesn't have TP, Nathan, that he will be back on the map first.
Okay.
So it's not something like I I need to abuse this information. It's information should only be used if there's an opportunity, right? I'm not forcing like, oh, just because you die, we have push, that means we have to do something.
Yeah. Just
It's
something
something
you
to
can.
keep in mind.
It's like a little option in the back of your mind.
Exactly, exactly. So here I make a little bit of gold for first strike. I push him out. Um, not the biggest reward, but uh, we take him out and I instantly cross the other side. I think everyone knows my game plan right now, so I don't care about showing. Obviously, I try not to show, but I don't really care at the same time.
But yeah, in general, showing's pretty bad as a jungler because it gives the enemy options.
Yeah, correct. But the great thing is whenever there's a slow game like this where there's like uh more than 3 camps being done on the first clear by both junglers, it's very predictable, right? What both junglers are gonna do. So here I know that Vi's on Goms were around the same tempo, but I'm ahead of her by about a camp and a half. So if I'm able to neutralize any dives or any sort of big plays by them, I will be able to soon abuse my lead. So I am pretty much full clearing again, but uh, keep in mind that I'm to like planning to get to the spike I want
And
and
what's that? What
abuse
items that? What items you're looking for?
level 6.
Level
So
6. That's
I'm
your
looking for
spike.
level 6. Yeah, I will naturally get a spike with like how I'm farming, right? I'm being pretty efficient. I'm pretty far ahead in terms of in terms of camps, like 1.5, I'd say. And so once I hit 6, she will be 5. So that is small timer I'm looking for to make something happen.
Oh, well, that's a
So
pretty good easy kills there.
yeah, so I end up picking a free kill off a trade, and that is the type of kill you want, you know? Like just a quick snip, you order, and then straight back on your guns, right?
Yeah. Those are like kills that don't require any setup or plan. It's just like, oh, I'm on my path and someone's suddenly around here. A quick kill. They're pretty rare. Like they don't happen too often.
Yeah, but if I'm exactly, but and now if I'm in bias position, I'm probably looking to do dragon or yep, probably looking to do dragon. And but if you look at me versus him right now, he should be feeling a lot of pressure. He's probably going to hit six at the same time as me, right? But if you look at my items, I'm looking pretty dangerous
Yeah, and
with
you're gonna have level 6. So now mindset right now is you're not gonna hit any camps. You're gonna look for the most aggressive play you can make. Is that what you're thinking?
yeah, now it's time, right? Now it's not time to
Farm.
chill.
Yeah. So you
But
know that her top
unfortunately, I
camps
get
are up.
caught out.
Okay, and then Rumble's
Yeah,
there.
unfortunately, I get pushed out, right? And I don't want to overforce. I know I'm strong, but I can't overforce on a play because as you can see, my mid laner and top laner are currently like losing the push. So
So why didn't you
I
just
know
E
I'm
over the
strong.
wall and then try and kill Vi there? You think that's just a risk that you don't want to take?
I think when someone knows your intention, so I walk up, right? When someone knows your intention, they can play, they can resist in a way that even if I kill Vi, I'm gonna die,
Yeah, but I'm
which
saying
is not something worth.
if you don't show there, right? Like if you just E over the wall, how do
Ah,
you?
right, yeah.
Yeah, how do you? You won't be
It,
given away attention, right? Because no one knows where you are.
yeah, yeah. Actually, that's a good point. That's definitely a good point. I definitely should do that because I don't need my E.
Yeah, because you just got R and you have your flash and stuff. Yeah. Okay, that was just interesting. I thought that you thought about that, but you just wanted to maybe hold your E
Yeah,
for a certain reason. But yeah, maybe that's just a literally
yeah.
missed opportunity.
No, no. In general, I like to hold
Hold
my
E,
E, right?
yeah. I
It's
see.
very beneficial.
I see Kha'Zix reviews all the time, and everyone they just spam their E around the map, and then they don't have it for the fight or to get out. So, yeah, I think that's a really good in general rule for Kha'Zix. But that situation, maybe
Yeah,
you could expand it a little bit more. So,
yeah. That's definitely a missed opportunity. But regardless here, so I know he's on red, and I know that I win every fight, uh, like in this situation. Unfortunately, he gets the steal, right? I kind of misplay, and he gets the free Herald, but he sacrifices his life for it. It ends up being a fight.
oh, so the reason that you forced Herald there, you started Herald just straight up. I mean, you did have mid priority there, and because you just know that Vi is just, you're weak, you're stronger than Vi, so you're just gonna force
Yeah,
it. Yeah, really
yeah.
good rule
So
of
even
thumb. But that yeah, when you're ahead, just force objectives like that.
exactly,
Especially like
and
Wukong,
even
I talk about Wukong as well. Wukong just started an objective, holding E on the objective, and just using Qs, and then they like try and fight it, and you just bait them to the objective. You just bam, you just full combo and kill them.
you're always gonna be fight ready when you're doing objectives, unless you know they're not contesting 100%.
I like it. Be fight ready when you're hitting objectives. All right, I didn't really see kill threat here, or she wasn't going for a minion.
So this situation is kind of just like understanding your limits. This guy is alone. I knew Karma was not there. Um, and I have Yomu's, so it's sort of uh, like a champion mastery thing. If you can understand the damage and distance,
Yeah, because
you can
I don't see
cover.
kill threat on like any other champion except for Kha'Zix in that situation. Like, what the hell, man? Like, who does that?
Yeah,
You like,
exactly.
so I guess that's a Kha'Zix specific thing. So you can just run people down a lane.
Yeah, I mean, I knew he had no summons, which was and Karma like the boxes were ticks, right? So this is kind of a funny kind of gank that wasn't really good map awareness, but it worked out. If you want to go back, Rippy, like just just notice how I actually didn't look at the map,
So are
but
you
I was
thinking about
like,
where Vi is right now? Like, are you jungle tracking? Like, what's the decision making here? Like, why are we hitting our red buff? Or because Miss Fortune's dead, so she's on a bit of a. She's still coming back to base. She's still coming bot. So are you thinking
I
about counter
don't
ganking
know
right?
where Vi is, right? I don't know where Vi is, but I know that like the thing is I know that the way they're playing is very. If you just go back 5 seconds. So if you just look at the way that this Karma is playing when he doesn't have his AD carry on, it's just too confident, right? This
Ah,
is like reading body
read your
language.
body language. Yeah.
And just look at the, like I didn't even look at the screen. If you go back and just look at the icon in the movements,
Yeah, just look at the mini map the whole time. So
yeah, I'm
you're
looking at the minimap, right?
confused why she's playing so aggressively on the mini map here.
Correct, correct. Look at the way she's trying to walk forward, and look at the way like as soon as I feel like MF is walking forward as well, I just have the instinct to uh just start passing down.
Yeah, there's so much information when it comes to looking at the mini map. Just reading body language. Again, you don't even, that's a really good point. You don't even need to look at the. I mean, obviously that helps to look at the lane or specifically on their characters, but the mini map tells you a lot by like movement.
Correct, yeah. And so this is going to net us like it's a trade, but for me it's a win, right? I literally just got another two kills.
And you love gold. You're happy to trade some kills because you just want gold. Is that right with Kha'Zix?
Yes, yeah. The reason why that one was a lot more effective is because again they were expending resources on my teammates, and I just came up to clean up kills, right? Like Vi was probably waiting there for like 30 seconds, right? For his MF to come while I was farming, right?
Just want a quick note here.
So
So you just switched out to your sweeper here, Shern. Why switch out to sweeper now and not earlier? Most people switch out to sweeper even before the game starts. On there, they go ward and then they go switch out to sweeper.
so honestly, I only want to switch out the sweeper when I feel like I want to take control of the map. So like I said, my champion identity
You're in
most of the
defense
time,
mode for the first until you feel like you're strong enough.
correct,
Yeah,
correct. Now I feel very aggressive, as you can see, with all my swords and dirks.
lots of AD.
And if you look at like when we talk about power spikes, right? Power spikes come from not just the spike itself, it's the differential or the comparison to your counterpart, right? So if you look at if you look at Visor, like even if he has Sunder right now, I'm still about 25% stronger than, right? Um, so that's something to keep in mind as well when we talk about power spikes. It's not just like you being level 6 doesn't mean anything if the other guy is level 6, right?
Yeah,
It means much more if the guy is level 5. So me having Yomu's and a Dirk means a lot more because he doesn't have his Sundra yet.
but if he had Sunderer and like maybe half the components of Black Cleaver, then you'll be a little bit more scared here.
Then I wouldn't consider it a power spike,
Yeah,
right?
you want to
So
you're just like even.
that's something to consider, yeah.
Yeah. So you're really looking at the enemy jungler's items to know what your actual relation is your strength compared to his.
Correct. So now I know I'm really so now I'm just looking for opportunities anytime I can get it. But I'm looking mid. Mid doesn't have ult, so I'm not gonna waste time trying to force anything. I know I'm strong, but I can't really force anything at
Because
this
Azir
very
has no
moment.
R.
Correct. But I see Camille moving mid, so I'm kind of interested in this play, so I'm gonna move with him.
That's a really good point though, Sharon, because I see in so many of my clients about they try and force plays without their critical ults. They don't think about their teammates' ults, even in fights and before fights. Like they might fight a dragon because, it's like, oh, well, we have even a numbers advantage, but they lose a fight because the enemy team has ults. So is that something that's really important for ganks as well?
Yeah, so we talked about the concept of we want
Quality of
the
ganks.
most efficient
Yes.
kill
Yeah.
possible, right? And so your teammates are meant to set you up, or you're meant to set them up for the freest kill possible. And so if my teammate with has an ability that happens to be ult, that is the most important ability in this down, um, we're not ganking that lane, even though we could kill that guy, maybe. there could be better things to do, you know? And the same could be said for just normal abilities. Like if an Ari just charmed, I'm not waiting 16 seconds for her charm to come back up and try again, right? So it all has to align up for me to be like, okay, this is going to be worth my time. But as you can see, we have Camille ult here and first move on her. So even though Azir doesn't have ult, I'm pretty confident here because Camille has ult. So it's like you have to understand your teammates' resources as well, not just your own, and what they can do.
Yep. So I mean, obviously that play doesn't work if there's no Camille, right? So that's the only reason you're going for that.
Correct. So Camille kind of
Yeah, that was
carried
really,
us here.
really, really good roam by Camille. Game winning.
And now they're forced to be in our side of the map because they wanted to get the Herald crash, right? And so this is already starting to be a pretty good fight.
I like the movement there. That was really good. So yeah, I think this is a huge champ mastery thing because a lot of people I would see is that they'll go on the misfortune here, they'll get this chunk, right? And then they'll be like, oh, I'm going to keep hitting him. So talk to me about the identity of Kha'Zix, the in out. I guess it's like, do you go in, get a chunk, and then looking to back off, or you like keep looking to auto attack them? How much do you value auto attacks versus playing around your Q cooldown?
So for me, when it comes to the champion identity of Kha'Zix, it's when I think about assassins in general, I think about not just the ability, not just the AD carry, but I think about how I can pull the tanks or the bruisers towards me as well. So here, it's not just about the fact that this guy is low. It's about the fact that Mordekaiser knows this guy is low. So look at the way Mordekaiser has to play as soon as I jump on the MF. If we can go back and just play it. So he's looking towards Camille right now. MF ults. As soon as I go in, look what
He
happens. They
starts
all
walking
start
back.
crowding around me.
Yeah.
And what does that do? It creates space for the rest of my team. So now Jin is able to, well, he just came, right? But let's say Jin was already here. Jin would be able to free hit their whole team, right? So it's about creating space. It's not just about trying to one-shot someone without dying. Unfortunately, like Camille doesn't understand that I was going to leave, so he just all-ins as well when he could have just also played around his cooldowns.
So what are you prioritizing here? What are you thinking about now? Do you care about this dragon,
Oh yeah, I care about all objectives. Like
even when you have no ult?
it's yeah. So even though I don't have ult, I will try to like make something happen so that or some chaos happen so that they have to delay the dragon, right? So even though I don't have ult, I'm not willing to give it unless, um, yeah, unless like there's nothing that can be done, right? Like we're too down on resources. There's nothing we can do. So even though we lost it, right, we got a free kill, bot, and Herald is coming up now. So I'm gonna
Because
reset.
everyone can remember times in their games where they're like, let's say they've won a fight, bit of a fight, and then their AD carry is like, oh, my team can get dragon on their own, and they're just going bot and then like pushing the wave by themselves because they think they're safe, and then the Vi thinks everything's safe because like I'm doing dragon, sort of like they're like split up. Is like a false sense of security. Is that sort of like the way you think about these opportunities as well?
Yeah, that's a tactic that works at almost every level.
Yeah,
Even challenger games, like even Korean challenger games, like everyone's trying to greed all the time.
greed for
So
waves
yeah,
and minions.
I know Vi is probably on Dragon, and yeah, this is a classic tactic that works a lot, very often because laners get greedy. Yeah, so Mordekaiser actually ends up staying for the dragon, right? So I know my top lane is going to punish him really hard for that now. Like I was very surprised when Dragon was gone, and then it made sense because Mordekaiser stayed the whole time since Dragon to secure. Yeah, since the first fight to secure Dragon.
So why are you going top here instead of bot?
So actually, another principle that I've been applying to my gameplay recently as well is the idea of staying on the side, going to the side that is going to be most active. So my bot lane just based, and no one's trading, right? No one's fighting. There's no chaos in a lane that there's no chaos in a lane of ghosts, right? There's no one there. So in general, a good concept to follow when you want to be in the action is go to the lane that's still in lane.
Yep.
Uh,
So you knew
that's
your bot lane was going to be base in now because Jin's out of mana, and then you see top. You're panning your camera top a lot here, so you're thinking, okay, top side of the map is where the most action is because my bot lane's base in right now. That's as simple as it is. Is that right?
yeah, that's a general concept I follow regardless of like maybe top lane is basing, uh, and I want some action, but bot lane's still there. So generally, what will happen is that they'll be trading for the last 30 seconds, and it'll most likely be much more volatile than the lane that's just coming out of base.
There you go. You predicted the action. Free kill.
So I know bot lane is a bit doomed, and I just back ping. There's no plates. This is the perfect time to get Herald and give up and trade.
Yep. So you're thinking about losing your bot tower right now. You're making your team aware that that's what's happening here. Give bot tower.
Yeah, it's almost like caution signs. Like even the most obvious things can not be so obvious at times, right? Everyone forgets. So
Everyone
like
forgets. Yeah,
even me
absolutely.
back pinging tower, even though he might know, it just confirms the obvious so that the obvious is even more obvious, right?
Yeah, I always say that everyone in League of Legends, especially high elo players, like everyone watches content, all sort of stuff. Everyone knows what to do, but people just lazy in general. You know, like who knows? They might have like their someone distracted them at their computer, or they're all tabbing on Discord or something like that, and they lose train of focus of where everyone is on the map. So like you're just sort of trying to give that extra, like I sort of like think of it as like 1%ers, like right, like you're just trying to just provide that information so that it just reminds them. Is that the way you sort of think about it?
Yeah, it's. I mean, to be honest, it's almost like retard proof. Like you just make
You're
sure that
making their lives as
it.
easy as possible.
Yes, exactly. Like you just eat, and it's not about. So I've always been through the phase of like, yeah, I want to be the leader. I want to get shit done, right? But you have to see your like see yourself as not giving directions, but rather like influence teammates, right?
Yeah.
Because if you just focus on like telling people what to do, what tends to happen is, from my experience, when they don't listen to you, um, you will explode emotionally, and then you will play bad as well. So it's more about influencing your teammates, and if they don't listen to you, then you adapt as well, right?
You
So
just let go. You just be like,
uh,
okay, cool, that's what happened. Now I need to make the next move.
yeah, like what can I do off this situation, right? So yeah, we got so before we move on, so basically what happened here, um, if we can go back. So what
So you
happens
got
here
Herald,
is we
and yeah, you're
yeah,
going
we
bot.
kill top, get Herald.
So why are you not heralding
They
top here or looking to kill Vi? What's going on here? What are you thinking here?
so so the thing about when you're ahead is trading is never ideal, right? So for me, what you want when you're ahead, when you're snowballing, is to always be attacking as aggressively as possible. And for this situation, the most aggressive play is to cross map and defend rather than trade, right? So if I just trade, my bot lane is probably going to die and I might kill Vi. But it's better to trade 1 for 0 than 2 for 1 because you're gradually building a wall, a closer and closer a wall on the map. So if you think about like the map right now, Rippy,
Yep.
and you think about a circle, like think about a circle of where I can walk and where I
Let
can't
me
walk.
try and draw this. So a circle. What do you mean? Like you could go this direction or down here. What do you mean?
I'll do a line of where I could walk, where I can't walk, and when I can walk in general. Like
Okay.
right now
Well,
in the
you
map
could
state.
walk here. You could walk here. You could walk here.
Exactly. You see how the line goes down?
This one
So
here goes
like
down.
yeah, you see how like it would be really weird for me to go into
Ah,
the other
so
side of the
so
jungle.
you're saying that you want to create like you want to like push them back behind the wall. Is that sort of what you're trying to say here?
Yes. So the overall strategy is to have a line at the end of the nexus, right? If you could just even make a
Yeah,
half
got it.
circle around the end of the nexus, yes.
Yeah.
So this is the overall strategy of
When you're
like
ahead.
just League of Legends in general. Yes, when you're ahead. So like I don't want a zigzag line where like I can be here, but I can't even go to the bot side river, right? I want a straight line where I can just attack from either side. But here, if I just keep going topside, I can go deep in the jungle, sure, right? But I can't even go to the bot side river. Like if I just trade sides here
Yeah.
and give bot and try to kill Vi. I want access to both sides and I want them to be stuck around their base.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if you
exactly.
go down here, you're gonna
So
push them back down to their base because
yeah, push it
you already then you obviously you already got the wall. This is like your air territory. You're gonna have mid territory now. You want to deny bot territory for them, so then you can push them
exactly.
away. Okay,
I
good
already have
concept.
access to topside.
Yeah.
So Camille does a really good TP play here. Um, where they overcommit and he's on the same page as me basically, right? We don't want to trade sides. Like he could kill top, try to get top tier 2, right? But he sees the value. I guess he has the same idea as me, right? We don't want to trade sides. We want to control all sides of the map. And I see the same thing here with see now Azir has ult, right? It was like 10 minutes, but we finally found a timer where Azir has ult and I am in a good position to kill the Rumble. And if we go back, let's just count how much time it took for me to kill this Rumble. As this is sort of the most important point of like just jungling in general when it comes to ganks. He died in like 1.5
Yeah,
seconds, right?
so that's the ganks you're looking for. Those really quick ganks, bam, insta kill.
Yeah.
Because then you're not running them down the lane. Giving the enemy team time opportunities. You just want quick, clean
So if
kills.
we so if we pause, notice how I have 4 camps up.
Yep.
I just was bot, I ganked mid, and now I'm going top. So there are times, like I said, to be efficient, and there are times when you are much stronger than the opponent,
And you want to keep
where
that
you need to
line
be.
the same thing, same concept, right? You just want to
I
push them
want to
more.
keep pushing that line. So you see your line right now.
Yeah.
I want to keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. You just want to keep it going.
Until the enemy crumbles, right?
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you right now, the enemy team is very frustrated the fact that everyone's just dying one by one. Just psychologically, it's definitely very frustrating.
For the enemy team, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now they're pushing mid, so the line is now you're going to defend this fight now.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. This might not be a play. Like, unfortunately, I don't have ult, right? I extended my ult that last play. But yeah.
So they're pushing the line now like this. It looks like this now, right?
Yeah, yeah, they're forcing it. They get to go in my bot side jungle because they know I'm top side. Temporarily, right? but the thing is, they have to react to me. That's the thing about when
So
you're ahead and
yeah.
when you're stronger.
But if you're behind, you would be happy for the line to just look like this.
Oh,
There's
perfect.
theirs, and
Like
there's
if I,
yours.
of course, perfect. Trading gold, till there's a point where I can be strong enough to fight an objective is always the goal when you're behind. So you can see I'm calling to defend the wave. I want to retake. Notice how I didn't go back topside. Even if I had topside camp stop, I would still come bot side because again, I have topside already. Look, we have 3 pinks topside. I just want to control both sides of the map.
Is that specifically you think about next objective, or like what happens if Herald was up now, like and Dragon wasn't up? Is that you don't care about that? You're purely again thinking about the line because you might just be bought because
Okay, that
Dragon's up.
doesn't, yeah, yeah, that doesn't take value over dragon.
Yeah, okay.
I think always, I think nowadays team fighting is very important. So I'd say being able to be in position and have vision of the objectives, yeah, it's much more valuable than uh just like controlling both sides of the map. So we get the crash. Unfortunately, mid dice, we're getting collapsed on. I'm actually forced to use my ult because I think a positioning mistake from me. I'm just playing with them here. I knew they were over the wall, and I was just trying to waste time, right? Because I know Camille just got a kill, so I needed to delay time for Jin as well.
Free Dragon. All right, so what do you think about what's next now? What's going on here? Now is your mindset, I have control of bot, I need to get control topside now? Baron's up in a minute? What's going on?
So for me, I think it's like I made a mistake before, right? Jin died by himself, kind of mid. So I think I'm just more aware now that okay, they know that Jin is probably a free kill when he tries to farm mid because his buys engaged has been pretty good, right? So for me, it's for me the side lanes are already winning, right? Now it's just about controlling the mid lane. But obviously here my bot lane dies and oh sorry my soul side laner dies and my bot lane needs to base. So we're just looking for our next spike, which is Seraldus, and I'm gonna base soon as well. Let Jin get some random farm and come out of the map on the same time around the same time with Azir and Soraka.
So you're thinking about Azir's death timer here, and you want to come out sort of at the same time as him on base, so control topside.
Yeah, it lines up perfectly,
Sinking
right? I get to
bases,
clear
sinking.
yeah, I get to clear one side of my quadrant plus I guess I gift a little bit of farm and we're sinking so that we're pressuring the map at the same time.
So you think about the enemy team at all here, like where their positions are, like what's going on here? Why are we bot? What are we? Okay, I guess you're just hovering mid, looking for a
Yeah,
pick.
so I had a feeling this was gonna happen again, right? If it works once, why not just do it twice, right?
So you know
Like
they're going to keep
this
killing Jin, so they're going to keep going for this Jin.
well, I don't know, but I have a feeling, right? So I'm in between both lanes right now. So like, I'm not a pure champ, right? But if they use all their resources, look how I can just go on their tank and their backline can't like hit me. Like that's a big thing that people I think miss is when people use resources to kill one person, there's a big window where you can do things that you normally shouldn't be able to do, right?
So you're saying
Like
that you're
notice how
letting them get into you, like use their abilities instead of youth. I guess. I mean, what is that? Well, I don't know what principle that is. Like, You're waiting for them
I
to
th
use their resources so then you can go in as an assassin. Like, but what if you're playing other champs like Vi? Like, you need to make the play happen at the beginning, or you know, your team's looking into engage, or you have a certain type of team comp. Maybe is it because you're more
so
front
like
to back team comp? Like, how do we get a principle out of this?
so like even though I can't, yeah, if we go back, even though I can't peel, right? I'm not Lee Sin, I'm not Vi, I'm not like I don't have any CC to actually stop them doing damage to this Jin,
So you
right?
can't peel and you can't engage with Kha'Zix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but what I can do is I can threaten whoever just use their spells on the Jin, right? So here, like, or they definitely feel the pressure of TP, but I look how like in normal circumstances, there's no way I could ever jump in 3v1 or 3v2 onto this Vi because she would just ult me, right? But just look how I play it because I know they've just used all their spells.
Yeah, and now there's no, you just jump on their
Look
heads.
how there's no
Yeah,
fear
no
there.
fear,
Like
just jump on their heads.
yeah. So even though I can't peel, I can still be very effective and use
Yeah.
right?
So again, this is a Kha'Zix. We got to emphasize this is Kha'Zix specific here.
Yeah, just any I guess any assassin in general that doesn't have any ability to peel your teammates, right? So we start Baron, we burn Rumble ult. I'm saying to go in because he just burned Rumble. I think Azir missed a big opportunity there. It's fine. We don't tunnel on the play too hard, and we decide to back off the Baron. That's probably something as well that the viewers might relate to, that they probably threw games off. Like
Just be comfortable letting the
when you,
objective go. Just be like, okay, maybe could have got it,
yeah,
maybe some opportunities, but it's all right. Go back to camp, set up again. We're only 21 minutes in the game at the end of the day, you know. Like, it's not that. It's not like we're losing the game. We're going to lose the game for missing that Baron.
yeah, they're feeling the pressure. I'm not feeling the pressure. They just randomly rumble all it. Like I obviously I want to punish that, but like if my teammates don't follow up on that punish, right? It, it's fine. We will come back to it again later. So I attack the side lane here.
So a question I'll have here is why are you attacking the side lane here? Why are you going bot here and not going top for your team with Baron? Because a lot of people will just be like, you know, in these situations, especially in lower elos, everyone's just going five man here.
So if we can think about what who their champions are, I think that definitely correlates to your ability to play both sides of the map, right? If they had an Azir Cogmal, something like that, right? I would definitely be more cautious of this, because of their ability to kill Baron, right? But if you actually look at their team, do they have an ability to kill Baron? Yes. But how fast is their ability to kill Baron?
So Mordekaiser just chops it a little bit percentage health. Vi's
Yep.
not too bad with percentage health. Misfortune,
Yep.
pretty average. And Rumble doesn't really do much. And who's the other champion? And Karma. So I'd say if I was to categorize it, that would be in the medium to maybe the medium range of like Baron threat. Would you agree?
Yeah.
That would have to
I
sort
would say
of
average.
average, yeah, but it wouldn't be high threat like a Cassiopeia or a Heimerdinger or what other champs are clear really quickly. Kai'Sa.
Yeah. But I mean this could be something we talk about in the future as well, if we can pause. Notice how when we did the Baron, we had the vision set up, right? Now we still have the vision set up. And notice how, so like, when we talk about the line where we want to push people back, there's also the line of vision that we have, right? Yeah, exactly. We have the river line, right? Their line, they can't see past the Baron pit, right? So That's all they can see. So the thing is they have to be able to recognize that I'm going gank bot before I gank bot to actually even react, right?
Yeah, because then yeah, if let's say if they had the vision line, like okay, let's do blue their line up to here, right? Like let's say they had all up to here and this is all their area, right? And then you go bot, then
Yeah,
suddenly that's they can react way quicker. Is that sort of what you're saying? They
yeah.
can just get Baron instantaneously.
It's a completely different story. And then the second kind of layer to that is the ability to outrange. So we actually have an Azir and Jhin and Soraka. So even if they started Baron, I'm actually very confident they could
They could push
3v4.
them off. Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. So, but I think the main point is sort of the understanding of their vision. So, like I said, with like how we stop the Baron, right? I know they have to retake the top side. It would be a different story if we had no vision of Baron, right? But we have vision of Baron and they have very limited vision on both sides of the jungle. So, knowing that I have ability to play both sides because they have not yet retaken Baron vision. Because if they can't see our movements, then I guess I can just move on either side freely, right? They're just reacting.
Yep. So there's a great explanation about why you're not topside for the Baron here, because yeah, you can play both sides of the map because you have the vision line, and that it's by the time you get seen here, it's too late for them to react. And even if they do start the Baron for some reason and retake the line, your bot lane, your team can 3v5 then 3v4 because you have Azir, Jhin, and Soraka.
And even if they couldn't 3v4, I would still do this because of the amount of reaction time they would have to like they would have to literally be almost next to Baron already and then starting it,
Yeah,
right?
because again they're a medium comp in terms of an average comp in terms of getting Baron quickly.
Yeah. So notice how like I'm calling influencing teams, so I want to attack both towers at the same time. We're gonna play two lanes because it's 4v4, right? We can play 4v4 here while Camille split pushes. Unfortunately, someone gets engaged on, so I decide we're gonna chill. Camille can
Getting
play
big
on side.
wins. Yep.
Yeah, I'm getting a camp while my teammates dying because I don't have peel, like I said. There's nothing I can do. We stop the base here. So now they're feeling a lot of pressure. Even though my two teammates are dead, they are they are feeling a lot of pressure, as you can see, to like do Baron right now. Obviously, another mistake from a teammate, but it's okay because I'm still alive. I'm looking to stop the Mordekaiser base. I do. Rumble bases with no TP, so it's a 2v4.
You're a madman,
I'm just
Shern.
trying to make space again. Yeah.
Well played. Oh, so can we quickly talk about the evolution for Kha'Zixes at the moment? So you always evolve Q first,
Yeah, always evolve Q.
and then what's the decision making
Unless
between E, W, and R?
okay, so this is a very rare case where E is better because they have uh like triple immobile. I would count Rumble as an immobile as well. But usually it's W if you're team fighting a lot, and uh, ult is more of the selfish team fighting. Ult evolve is more selfish team fighting, where you want to be solo in their backline and feel like you don't want to rely on your teammates to like uh because with W you have a lot of utility, right? You slow like a lot of people with W, but with ult you have more ability to make space in the backline and make the panic, right? Just like in the early clip we were watching where I jumped on the MF while she was ulting in the dragon fight and I ulted away.
Yeah.
That extra 1 second of ult would be pretty beneficial um, if you want to evolve, if you want to make space. Like ideally here, having a R evolve would be better as well in this very specific scenario because I'll be able to walk around a lot more in Viz. and they'd have to wait for me to come out of invis.
But in general, you're taking Eve this game specifically because they're a mobile team, heavier mobile team.
Whenever it's a like a double squishy or triple squishy with that's immobile. So I'm not talking about Ezreal, right? I'm talking about like what I see on my
Yeah,
screen, Karma, Jin.
yeah. People that
Sorry,
have
Karma,
dashes.
MF. Yeah, Karma, MF, Rumble. Yeah, I'm taking E every time. But
And
it's more rare.
so if you were to do a percentage of the evolution, so obviously Q always first, and then what would the ratio be of W, E, and R?
W would be probably 60% of the time. R would be probably 25% of the time, or 30. E would be like 10% of the time. Like this is really rare game where I go E evolve, but there are uses where it's much better, which I think in this game E evolve is really good. Oh, if we can go back. So I think I play it really beautifully up until this point. So I actually end up stopping the Baron here because of the pressure I'm putting on them and the fact that they're an average Baron. But here, if I know my limits properly, I know that this guy doesn't have ult and he's not in Q range. So if I don't jump here, I actually can
You just kill
probably
him.
do
Just
some.
whack him.
Yeah, I just kill him.
Yeah,
I probably do a montage play because their teammates will probably try to save him,
yeah.
and then I'll
E
just
onto their
jump
heads.
on everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. This was a quite a big mistake for me. But the way my mentality is really good, at least in this situation. Like I don't panic, I don't get mad that my teammates died. I just play the situation out as it is up until I die there. But but in the end, and we end up stopping the Baron, and again, they're the ones that feel pressure. Even though I died, they're still the ones that feel pressure. They haven't even based yet, right? So hopefully my team can get Dragon here. Just thinking about my core items. Usually when it gets past these three cores that you have, like it can get confusing what you should buy. Or it can get be like specific to what the opponents have that the skills. So if we can go back here, this ends up being a pretty big mistake by me.
So you go top side of base. Your team gets drag, and your team's base in. So yeah, I guess you have to respect that they have control of top side here, right?
Yeah, so I want the pink because we kind of waste a lot of time bot side, which is not good as a four-man unit. You know, it's different from me going bot and killing someone in like 2 seconds versus them taking dragon for like the last 30 seconds, right? So they can easily start Baron and
Yeah.
start a fight because we have no
You
vision.
think that they're starting Baron here. That's why you're walking this straight. This is actually a really good play by them, isn't it? Like, they're just like, oh, let's just find the Kha'Zix. Like, fuck Baron, we're just going to find the Kha'Zix. Because they saw you on that
Yeah, so
ward.
if so if you go back, like my instincts already tell me, or the information given already tells me that they can pressure the Baron really hard here. So I just wanted to pink ward it straight away to know the difference between if they're baiting or
Ah.
um
Okay, so that's why you went to go
and
to Pink Water. Okay, yeah, because you want to know. Yeah.
yeah, my Soraka needs to base, my Zir needs to base.
So,
It's a really
so
bad dragon.
even if it gets cleared, you just want to know timing. It's like a timing thing. You want to understand the
It gives
timing.
me five
Yeah.
seconds. It gives me 5 seconds. It gives my team 5 seconds to like breathe because as soon as the map is black on the left side, it's going to be a really dangerous for our teammates, right? But here I kind of underestimate my Edge of Night. It just gets blown up by Protobot and Vi just instantly ults me. So I may actually something I guess I learned is like not to rely on Edge Knight if they have something to pop it really fast, right?
Good learnings. Oh my god, this Camille's killing everyone.
Yeah, and we have a team comp that outranges, so it helps a lot. So all that invested time into, like making good plays, it paid off even though I died. Because, like I said from the start of the game, our team is like our teammates, our champions like scale, while there's a very strong early game, so like the investment paid off. So now we have Tempo and we have Baron. So in general, I look to play 2 lanes. Uh, what I mean by that is usually 4-1, right? Unless we're playing with a tank.
So 4-1 would look like 4 people mid and 1 person there. Is that what that's what you mean by 4-1? And only pressure 2 lanes at once at the same time with
Yeah, not
not
three.
three.
Not
Three is
three.
really
Never
hard.
three.
That's even in competitive. That's not that ideal, is it? Unless you have a certain
It's
comp.
really, especially in the new meta, right? If we're talking about the current patch 13.10, teleports are much stronger now. And TP flanks are just, it's really hard to play 3 lanes, even at the highest level. So if we can go back here, just so I end up getting a catch here.
Okay, this is actually a really important one as well with Kha'Zix fundamentals, champ mastery, is you ideally always start with R first. So R and Yomu's, is that right? And then hold E to
Yeah,
run
I should
away.
Yomis here. I misplayed.
Yeah. So you don't want to E in first.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you start with R.
So even though I do have leap, right, I can get a reset and jump on someone. The thing about E is you actually CC yourself if you really think about
Yeah.
it. So me Eing in, I don't want to be stuck in the air, right? I want to be able to move. So like I never want to E in like unless it's 100% free kill, like isolation. So yeah, me ulti in there is definitely something most Kha'Zix players should follow instead of jumping in when you can see a target. But if we go back here, I just want to mention like last thing here. One of the last things. If we go back to after the kill.
After the kill on Misfortune or Mordekaiser. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So notice how like a lot of people might base here, or they might try to stick around. Like know your identity, right? I'm not playing support. Uh, me hovering another like won't do anything anymore,
Because you're
right?
so low
So
health.
and I don't have
And you've
ult
no
for
ult.
30
Yep, so you're
seconds. So
useless.
I'm playing around my ult. So in the meantime, I'm gonna do what's most beneficial for me, right? If I cannot impact the map, I might as well be preparing to be as strong as possible for the next play. So my teammates can still do whatever they want. Like I believe they can still fight, right? They outrange. So I'm just gonna take my time to farm here.
So you farm all the camps, heal up a little bit, and you're thinking, okay, my ult's going to be up soon. Now you can be aggressive.
Yep, 7 seconds. Yep.
So really making sure you're thinking about your ult timer.
Okay, that was. Oh,
I guess this slows down the game a little bit more. Azir gets some kills.
yeah, we trade kills.
All right, now how are we gonna close out the game from this point now?
At this point, like it's pretty hard for an assassin to actually play in open inhib plays, right? So ideally, I just want to be waiting for them to. I'm waiting for an opportunity for them to have to fight my teammates, right?
So I guess
So I'm not
you're
actually.
just waiting for them to use their abilities. Really, you can't. There's nothing else you can do
Yeah,
except
yeah.
for wait for them to use their
It's like
abilities.
it's like the previous
Yeah,
play. Yeah, it's like the previous
you
play
can't do anything aggressive.
because
Just sit back.
as you can see, when Vi has ult, he actually counters me pretty hard. if I don't have Edge of Night because he actually follows me through my jump, so it doesn't matter.
So you're still sort of looking for a pick here.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, my Jin base, but I'm waiting for.
I guess you're sort of just having a crack here. Just like, okay, they're bot. This is sort of just like seeing what opportunities are around. Holy moly.
Yeah, unfortunately, like, fortunately, no one shows up. They all just form in bots,
This is a
so
pretty rare,
I
rare
decide.
situation at Kha'Zix ending the game. Kha'Zix
I
ending.
take it upon myself, you know.
Yeah, you're just like, okay, if no one's going to do it, I'm just going to do it myself.
Obviously, we can't end here, so because Rumble's got some really good wave clear, so I decide this is the perfect. Like, I love it when we're fighting in the jungle or any sort of bush areas, right? But it like this is way better than the Nexus area, right? So this is perfect for me.
Alright, I think you end the game here.
Yep.
Alright, cool. I think that was really helpful, Shern. Lots of good concepts here. I like the line, the thinking about extending that line when you're ahead. When you're behind, obviously a little bit more of a different story. But I really liked how you just really thought in the early game, just chill out, full clear. But your mindset isn't completely defensive. You're still thinking about when I can make potential aggressive opportunities, like in that Vi on her Gromp, for example, because you had, as you said, the home guard, the Azir, the mid push, and you had two long swords and she hadn't based yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Even though I'm not doing anything proactive at that moment, I'm always looking to just speed up the process. Like I'm looking for tactics, finding like using tactics to speed up that process to get to my overall like game plan, right? My strategy to get to my power spikes and to play to my champion strengths.